got my flashlight right here, right? So I already put my vest on the car, so I'll just walk about a couple more minutes and going back to the condo to study and get a cup of coffee. So the day already started. So, and after that, I want to tell you a nice story about determination. How, I don't know how your dad was. I don't know if your father or your mom still alive. Praise those people like never before, because it's gonna be one day. It's gonna be one day that they're not gonna be around, and you're gonna be like, "Oh man, I miss those days." So I'm gonna take you to a great memory lane. You probably have some stories about your mom and dad, but some of this good ones, some of us not. But this one, it says, I forgot my dad. He passed away about 3 years ago. But man, you know what? At the end of the day, there was no regrets. The guy did what he had to do, and you know what? I forgave him, and man. So I'm gonna finish my walk, and I'm gonna go back to the condo, give myself a cup of Joe, and let's get it going, man. Let's get it going. Good morning, another session. Waking up at 3 a.m. Another weekend. It's Friday, right? So this is the Labor Day weekend, right? So most people already they clocked out. Most people get paid today, but by Wednesday they start slowing down because I'm going to the weekend, so I'm gonna go fishing. I'm gonna go, I'm going to the game. I'm going to whatever they need to do. But the most important, those are the best days to catch up on the work that you should be done a long time ago, right? So right now it's 4. I've been up since 3, so it's 4:48. It's still dark. You can tell that fall is up on us because it's a little chilly, but it's not that bad. We can have plenty of days out. But the reality is waking up and having the ability of still having that spark on you, having the ability to execute no matter what. Waking up at 3 in the morning and just to catch up on things ain't easy, I tell you. We just gotta get it going. So I do some extra time, doing some extra calls today. So most likely it's gonna be any running today, but I'm still gonna do workout. So I'm gonna work out, and I had to put some study done. And but the key is keep moving forward. I think the ability is keep moving forward. I think that's it. That's the key. Because when you move, when you have that positive encouragement within yourself, it kind of triggers. I'd apologize for the light, but there's it's dark. Otherwise, it would be that way. So you got to have that constant positive encouragement to yourself. And did a meditation this morning, and I just got to keep at it, man. Now, because the older you get, because there's someone across the world that is already finishing the day. There's always someone somewhere, right, that is putting the work. So I do my walks every morning, and it just keeps us motivated. Because most of these people that are sleeping, most people, they get up at 6 o'clock. This is a no smoking facility, but I can smell that someone actually smokes. What a terrible habit, I tell you, what a terrible habit. So my headphones batteries are about to die. I forgot to charge this. That's the only thing I don't like about those iPhone, the Apple, whatever Max is. the battery kind of sucks. They're great noise canceling headphones. I tell you, they are the best, but the battery kind of sucks. So I'm going to just leave it, because as I walk, even though after the battery dies, the noise canceling factor dies, but it's still, because I was walking, I'm too sensitive as far as noise. So I mean, I obviously keep myself aware of my surroundings, and I wear my yellow vest. So this weekend, try to get at it, man. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and stay safe this weekend. Stay safe this week. Catch up. I'll talk out. Yeah, I was hoping to see more people since it's Friday. But then you see, like, this is like a 55 miles an hour. And sometimes you have people flying at, I don't know, like 70 miles an hour. You know? Let's see the other side. Let's take a bike. What's up, Rogue? So I'm going to tell you this story about my dad, right? So about 30 years ago, my dad really, he was like this Mexican Indiana Jones, right? So talking about memories this weekend, right? Most people are going to waste the weekend. They're going to probably go places, just, waste time instead of, doing something cool, right? Or something that memorable with your parents, because your parents are going to be alive, in the next years, right? Because, eventually, unfortunately, they're going to pass. And so my dad, he was an avid traveler, right? So one day he took us, my sister, me, and a friend. We drove from Mexico City all the way to Belize. And I don't know why we didn't go. I think he wanted to go to Costa Rica and Guatemala, and I don't remember. That's probably because of my sister. I don't know. I don't remember. So I remember we were these pristine beaches on the Caribbean. I mean, there was literally, you were paying like 5 pesos to spend the night with a tent, and there was completely rustic, right? There was no tourism. There was no, like, nobody knew, really that those places, because it was remote. Back in those Cancun, Playa del Carmen, you have like there was 2-lane highways. Now they're like 6 lanes, always, because there's more cars, there's more traffic. So he packed a pickup truck, a Nissan pickup truck. He put a tarp on it, and we were all like to camp, whatever he can park, and bunch of cans. And I remember he bought a bunch of plantains and cooked it in the back of the truck. What an amazing experience, right? Tents. We didn't have like sleeping bags or whatever we could put into sleep. I believe we have some sleeping bags, but other than that, I mean, we have some tents. It was rustic, right? And there's not like today, we have all this gear to camp and all these inflatable mattresses and all this shit. No, it was all rustic. But what an amazing experience, right? So I'm not talking about these, RVs, and I'm talking about all like cool stuff, all the way to South America. So we got our passports, and we were in Belize. Oh my God, it was such a great experience. It took us about a month and a half, and my dad always he wanted to, explore, different highways, different beach accesses, and that was such an amazing trip with my dad. Rest in peace, the old man. He took us whatever he could, regardless of his, nobody's perfect, but man, it's every time I tell about this trip with my dad, we did like 30 years ago. We used to go to Cancun, and that corridor there was probably, I don't know, maybe a good 10, 15 hotels, but there was no like these massive buildings. There was all rustic. They were starting to kind of build build the the touristic corridor, and Tulum was pretty much like unheard of, right? Now there's more traffic, like Bali. Like nobody knew about Bali. Some influencer go to Bali. Now Bali is like this. I think this is pretty overrated. I think it's very, very polluted, and I don't know. There's no when you have all these massive people now, taking over some towns, it really takes that charm. But hey, this is what it is. I'm not complaining. But what I experienced myself 35, 40 years ago, I don't really remember, because I was, I think I was before high school. I just was a long time ago, but I remember that trip with my dad was an amazing trip. So this weekend, if you can build some memories, some cool memories with your parents, man, that's a great time to spend. Other than that, if you don't have anything planned, if you have some work to be done, that you have some, tests that need to be taken, or increasing your net worth, or study the next chapter for your real estate license, like I do, every moment counts. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been walking since. I went home, took a cup of coffee, I did a little bit of breakfast, and as I'm, listen to my audio tapes, listen to the tests and vocabulary, and I'm about to hit the phones in about 35 minutes. So it's Friday, the last day of the month for me, for our accounting period. So I gotta finish with the bank. So I'm gonna be taking out having a lunch, and I'm gonna be probably done by 7, and we have like 3 days off. But we're gonna stay at the condo, and we have a pool. So I'm gonna do my studies. We're gonna do the running. But man, such a good time. And because what happened with most people already clocking out, most people they're not gonna even work today. So you have some people even called off since Thursday. So they're gonna be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like 5 days that nothing gets accomplished. In my case, every single moment that I'm off, I'm like, okay, what can I do today that is gonna catapult me to the next level? What is it into my real estate career? So I got to do some videos. I got to put some ads on a Facebook page that we're gonna do some collaborative work with somebody, and we gotta get it done, man. There's no time. So literally it's 8:26 in the morning on a Friday, and we're gonna head to work. But most people are like, oh my God, they're off, they're still sleeping, and we're already put, 3-4 miles walking, and we're gonna do some running on the weekend, and we're just gonna keep going. So you gotta keep going. Don't stop. You're in charge of your own future. And attitude, man, attitude. And just hit the subscribe button, hit it up, and just share it. And man, it's just have a good weekend. If you haven't talked to somebody this weekend, just have a chat and say, was thinking about you, man. How are you doing? And talk to you later. Bye. Rock and roll, fellas. It's a little chilly, so we got to sweat a little bit, but let's go.